Hi there Facebook, it's Kamal here with the puppy. I'm going to do a little training session where I'm going to focus on some more skills and laying great foundations for her. Let me just put this mat back. Hopefully people will join me. I appreciate they might be at work, but if not, you can pick this video up later on. So one of the most important things that I'd emphasise to anybody who's starting training their dog, irrespective of what you're training it for, is lay solid foundations. I cannot overemphasise that point, and the amount of problems that people encounter will always, or 99% of the time, revert back to their basics. What are your foundation skills? So with my dogs, the first year is about foundation. So I'm not really concerned about teaching anything specific, but merely laying great foundations and making sure that my dogs understand those foundations and those basic skills really well. So in this session, I'm going to be doing stuff more specifically for obedience. I will do some generic husbandry stuff because that's an ongoing thing for her, which I'm constantly working on, which is to be expected of her age. So we're going to be working on some obedience skills. I'm going to work on some play, depending on how she goes with her food stuff. So we'll see how we go. So you can see she's super revved up to train. So I'm going to start to introduce one of the most important foundation skills, which is a switch on word. So I'm going to use a generic term which I use for my other dogs, and the cue is going to tell her that we're starting training, okay? So she's really jazzed up because she knows I've got food in my pocket, and having a dog with the understanding of when to switch on and engage with you and when they're entitled to engage with the environment is a massively important skill that you want your dogs to understand. This can prevent things like over-arousal, distraction, dogs being distracted, lacking focus, lack of clarity, if your dog has a really solidly trained switch on and off skill. So you've probably noticed, if you've seen any of my lives previously, I've already started introducing an end marker, which is my one is that'll do, which means we've stopped training. But this is the first session where I'm actually going to teach her on cue, which for her I'm going to change it. And I've used a generic term in the past with my other dogs, which is ready, steady, and because I like to use that as an excitement word, I wanted to change it with her as well. So her cue is going to be, which is I've stolen from my good friend Lou Holmes, is going to be ACTION. So I'm going to say that in a second. As soon as she engages with me, I'm going to reinforce her. Now, so there's a couple of things to consider. One is she knows that this environment, my living room, and around this sort of me getting her treats ready and letting her know that's all happening, are indicators to her that we're going to start training. So she's got a pretty good idea that we're about to do something. So she's all hopefully going to be pumped up and jazzed up to interact with me. So the chances are I'm going to get the response that I want. If she doesn't, then I'll just make it super fun and exciting and animate her, and then I will mark her for any sort of engagement she gives me. It's not necessarily about her doing anything specific. It's just about her offering attention at this stage, okay? So the things that I'm going to run through in this session, she has experience in. That's a really critical thing. When I first introduce the switch on word, I'm not using it to necessarily teach the dog something because the dog might get confused, my training might be sloppy, which could invoke a bit of confusion on the dog's part, or stress or frustration, and I don't want that to be part of my switch on word. So it's really important with your switch on word, one, you think of the word that you're going to use, two, that you don't use it when you're training a new skill which you're not quite fluid on or the dog hasn't got mastery on. So this is a big thing for her. She's doing a lot of this biting. As you can see, I'm handling it how I would, just ignoring her and waiting for her to stop. That's appropriate for this type of puppy because she's small and to be honest, she's not that, it doesn't hurt that much. It doesn't hurt really, to be honest, at all. But if it was a more strong, powerful dog, I'd be switching it for a toy, which I do sometimes with her. So either ignoring it, waiting for it to stop, which is what I'm doing now. Good girl. Nice. And reinforcing her, that's one technique. Or alternatively, providing her with a different thing to chew. Okay? Sideline point there. So I'm going to start my little session. And I'm going to engage her and I'm going to run through some basic obedience skills, okay? Action! Yep! Nice! A nice reaction there from her. Good. And I rewarded her as soon as she spun around. Yep! Good. And I like my dogs to be animated and tell me, ready? Yep! Nice. That they are wanting to train. Good girl. So I'm going to run through some basic skills. Twist! Yep! Nice! Whoosh! Whee! There we go. Good. Oh, so... Let's do that one again. Yep, nice. So going through my legs, which is a precursor. Yep, good. To recalls is a good skill to have. I'm going to adjust that camera. Get that. Oh, yes. Oh, that's a big bit. Bad timing on my part. Whilst I faff with the camera. Come here, puppy. Oh, she got a huge bit there. Dropped out my pocket. These things happen when you're training for real. Yay, good. Yep, good. Nice. Good girl. Yep, good. So I'm just clicking her for coming in front of me. Good, so I'm going to do some go-throughs. So, yep, good girl. Nice. Now I'll eventually put a verbal cue on that. Yep, nice. Good. So I'm going to put a verbal on that one. So, through. Yep, good. Nice. Start again. Ready. Up, up, through. Yep, nice. So say the verbal first, then feed the puppy. Come over here. Let's do one more. Through. Yep, nice. Good girl. Super. Let's do the other one. Let's warm her up first. Make sure she remembers it. Boop, boop. Yep, good. Let's go again. Yep, up. So she's got a bit stuck. Yep, good girl. Super. Let's do that one again. Here. Yep, good. So I want my dogs to circle both legs. So they don't have a bias when eventually I do a present or retrieve. I can bring them around either leg. I have 2 cues for that. So, yeah. Yep, good. Nice. So, cue to my right leg is through. Yep, good. Puppy. Nice. Okay. So, say the cue first. Through. Hand comes in. Yep, good. Nice. Okay. Now if I use the other leg, which I'm going to switch over, hip hop up, boop, boop. So it's going to be under. Yep, good, super, nice one. Okay, let's do one more of those. Under. Yep, good, nice one, good. So I'm going to move on from that. Oh, you missed it, yeah, baby. There it is. Good girl. So another behaviour that I put on cue is her DOWN, or her down. Come here, pop. Which that isn't her cue. Her cue is, ready, head. Yep, good, nice. She's got that one. She really likes that position. Head. Wait her out. Get it, good. So I'm going to click that one because she went through the sit and she paused. That's part of the learning process. What she's doing now is because she likes the behaviour and she's offering it, what she's processing now is responding on a verbal, okay? So let's do that one again. Head. Yep, that was a better response. What if you know she's slightly hip rolling there, so I'm deliberately rewarding her forward to try and see if I can get rid of that. Head, yep, it's good. Ready, head, yep, good. It's better. Good girl. Head, yep, nice, super. Ready, twist. Yep, yeah. So chuck in another cue now and again just to keep her so she's not just guessing. Twist. Nice. I'm still supporting her with the physical cue. Good girl. Head. Get it. Good. Nice puppy. Okay. So I didn't click that one because she took that delayed response. Good. Head. Yep. Nice. Well done. Let's try one without the head verbal cue. Head. The physical cue, I should say. Let her work it out. Good, almost. Good girl, well done. So I'm going to just start that one again. Good. So feed in position. Good girl, good. Good girl. So that one, I said the cue, she didn't respond. Yeah, I'm now feeding her in position just to change it up, just to emphasise to her that's the one I want. So I'm going to try it again. Break. Good. Come here. Head. Yep. Nice. Well done. So a little bit of help putting my hands on my lap rather than to the ground, which was the previous cue that I used. Let's try. Head. Yep. Good. So she still needs that physical, which is fine. Yeah, to transition onto a verbal cue. Pop, pop. Head. Yep. Nice. So she's really understanding when it's my hands on my lap and my 2 hands together. That's the cue. So the cue is my hands going together on my lap or on the ground. The the understanding of the verbal isn't quite there. So I'm going to see if I can move that on. Good girl. Head. Good. Get it? Nice. Super. Good girl. When you put behaviours and verbal cue, this is the process that normally happens to really create that understanding. Yeah, the dog sometimes guesses, it sometimes makes mistakes. That's all part of the process until they really, really know it. Already. Head. Yep. Good. I quite like that one because it was a snappy response there. Good, because I'm going to click it. Good. Break. Head. Yep, that was a smart one. So me following up with the hand signal there. Let's do one more. Head. Get it? Nice. I'm not going to click those because she's actually going through another position. Let's do one more. Head. Get it? Nice. So that one needs a bit of work. Good girl. Let's do head. Yep, good. So end on that one. So my little takeaways is moving on from having that physical cue. I've obviously just put the verbal cue. Yesterday was the first session. So she's still trying to figure that out. So let's move on to another behaviour that I'm working on, foundation skills, which is hand touches. So, yep, good. Nice. So feeding by the hand, switching the hand up. Yep. Oh, she slightly went off it there. She turned a bit early, so I'm going to do that one again. Yep, good. And then ask for that second hand touch. Let's go back to this one. Yep, good. So building a bit of duration there. Good girl. Yep, nice. So now withholding the click and waiting for that second tap. So I'm going to go back to one now. Yep, good. Super. Nice girl. Let's do one up here. See if you can work that one out. That's a hard one, isn't it? Yep, good. Good effort. Well done, little one. Yay. Let's change it up. It's the hard one. Yep, good. So she put her foot on there as well. So I just want to make sure that she doesn't think it's that. So I'm going to just do it here. Yep. Now she's sniffing. Okay, so, but she touched her nose on my palm. So at this stage, I'm going to switch that up. I'm going to take that. But a little note to self would be making sure that that behaviour doesn't get shaped in. Let's go back to... Yep, good. So getting that understanding of tapping my hand with her nose. If you could see, she's looking at the side of her face, which I don't like. So I'm going to work on fixing that in the next couple of sessions. But because I'm trying to create understanding of, yep, good, touching the hand and getting the reinforcement, I'm letting that slide for this session, okay? So I'd want to, yep, good, start to get her to understand, to be straight to it. So, yep, good, good. So I can use a reward-specific marker or a location-specific marker to train that. So, yep, good. So 2 little targets there. Good, so I'm going to move it on. That was really good. So the other skill I'm going to work on is obviously starting a little bit of heel work training. And for a little dog or for a puppy, I normally start that on my legs. So I'm starting that with a little pivot. Yep, and as soon as she makes contact with my leg, I'm feeding her in position. Let's do one more. So turn around. Yep, good, nice, good girl. Break her off, well done. So mix and matching just some basic skills there. That was really good. Well done. So I'm going to see if she'll play. So I'm letting her now know I don't have any more food on me. Good girl. So a little bit of a break in between using my food and my toy. And I'm going to use a toy which I know that she really likes. Oh, good girl. So starting to again work on her switching between food and toys. Again, another foundation skill. A lot of dogs won't do that well. And again, it's one of the things that I'm constantly working on with her. So, hey, ready? Switch! Yo, get that one. You're going to work on my switching my toy. Yeah! So, again, that's something that we worked on. I covered that yesterday, or the day before, maybe, where I worked on toy switching. Ready? Switch! Yes! Well done. Good girlie. Yeah. Good. So working on our toy play. I'm going to actually move this on to standing up. Oh, okay. Win. Yeah. So I'm introducing that marker word for a toy. Yeah. Good girl. Nice. Stroking her. Good. Yeah. Oh, touching her. Ready. Oh, letting her win. Oh, ready. Win. Yeah, any sort of attention and engagement she gives me, I'm marking that. Whoa, yeah. Oh, gotcha. Ha, ha, ha. Win. Whee, there it is. Ha, 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 ha. So being unpredictable where my reward comes from, so she's not just learning to stare where the toy went from. So I'll do one more rep of that. That was really good. Whoa, gotcha. Oh, so my toy goes behind my back. Win. So she brings it. Good girl. She looks at me. She lifts her head up, and I reward from my left hand. I use that time. So it might be that the camera flips that. So just to be aware, let's do another one of those. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Well done, little pup. Ho, 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 ho. Snatching it away. Good. Win. There it is. Hee hee hee. Good. Nice. Good. Whoa. Nice one. Good girl. That'll do. Well done, puppy. So finishing my session with my end of session marker cue there, or my end session word, and that's us done for our little training session. So working on foundation skills, working on putting behaviours and verbal cues. This stage it's not fluid and a bit messy, so me teaching her her down cue. Again, there was some hit and miss stuff there. So what it shows me as a trainer, and for her specifically, is I need to be aware of not getting stuck on my physical. And now that I've introduced the verbal, I need to allow her a moment or two before I introduce the verbal, because otherwise she could very easily get hooked on the verbal, which is a lot of dogs do. Working on my hand touch in different locations. So she's starting to show me she understands it's to touch the hand. The fallout that I'm getting is she's slightly turning, which I would need to work on. Her toy play and food play is getting really, her food to toy transition is getting much, much stronger. I'm happy with that, and that's progressing. As you can see now, she's playing with the toys. I haven't tried to offer high value treats and then switch that. I'll build towards. Her switching of her toys a work in progress. It's coming, it's just not where I want it yet, so I'm going to persevere with just alternating. We did a bit of heel up position stuff. Me knelt on the floor, bringing her in. She does a nice little pivot on the left. I really need to do that on the right as well, just to create balance. I'm really happy with how that's progressing. We did, what else did we do? We did, just trying to think back in my session. The first bit, we clicked some attention and used the toy as a reinforcer, introducing my toy marker cue. Let me give you something else to play with. You can have, have one of the big dog's toys. Have one of the big dog toy. Have that thing there. Good. Oh, yes, that's a big dog toy. Working on her marking attention and looking up at me and rewarding with the toy and clicking her. And also we started off with my switch on word. So lots of little lessons there, all foundation skills for any dog that you're going to do sports with, or it's just great to have that clarity, that level of understanding. So, yeah, see if there's any questions. Let's have a look. Oh. Okay, let's have a look, company. Yeah, she's pretty cute. Let's have a look. Okay, so just have a look. Wish I'd known about needing on them to do heel work till he's nearly 2 years old, and we're starting that now, as she won't do heel when outside. Yeah, absolutely. You're sort of never too late to go back to basics and start something or retrain something. So start it off, especially with a small dog. And I've trained other small dogs. My German Spitz, I never competed with him, but he could do obedience heel work, and he was tight and close to my leg, and I started it in the same way initially. And even in my big dogs, I always start with it on my knees and on the floor first, and then progress to standing up. So yeah, definitely never too late to start and retrain something. But yeah, so yeah, that's it really all. I just wanted to cover a little training session with the puppy, sowing those seeds, laying those strong foundations, hopefully for whatever sport or just her being a great dog. Even if if I wasn't to do sports with her, I would still train my dogs the same way. The reason being is that it creates a great relationship, creates a great focus, and gets them really, really into me, which is how I want my dogs to be with me. But yeah, just some ideas for you to take away. Switch on words, hand touches, verbal cues, heel up position, toy play, marker words, lots and lots going on in a very short session. That's how puppy training should be. Enjoy your dogs wherever you're doing with them. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you later.